What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm your host, Devan. I'm here with Tony today. Tony, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing good, bud. Getting ready for the game.
Hey, I gotta tell you, dude. Last night, Friday night, college football started off right, man. We had the Miami Virginia Tech game. Then what was the other game that came down to the last minute field goal that they missed?
Dude,
Let me see.
I watch college game all the morning too, and I all I can think is every other game.
I always do this when I go to record. I always like have these little brain farts and forget.
No.
But we're about to find it. Everybody just bear with us here. I know everybody's screaming at the screen who it was. Dude, why can't I find it? Who was it? Oh, whatever. I didn't want to talk about that game anyway. I want to talk about I'm going to start off talking about the Miami Virginia Tech game.
Yeah.
And how
the U, really important.
Yeah, the U is back, right?
I mean,
bruh, that was Virginia Tech, man. I'm gonna read some stats for us here. Here goes some stats. Virginia Tech, 394 total yards, 188 passing yards, 206 rushing yards. Miami, 508 total yards, 343 passing yards, 165 rushing yards.
I mean, for as great as Cam Ward's supposed to be, I mean, he was great, but I still don't think Miami won. So whatever.
Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions. They fumbled the ball once.
Yeah.
It was Virginia Tech. I'll tell you this: Virginia Tech came to play. Their defense came to play. Their defense, for the most part, shut down a lot of the run game.
Yeah, Cam Ward took a lot of hits too because he tried to run the ball so much because they couldn't run.
Yeah, you saw him. You saw the Virginia Tech defense fluster him quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about, number one, I feel like Virginia Tech should have won this game. I mean, I don't know what they were doing with that fake field goal. Let's toss it to, the holder or whatever and try to run for it. That was just a bad call.
That's never
but more importantly, the last play of the game, the Hail Mary, bro, down in the end zone.
Virginia Tech should have won, and they did win it for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, Virginia Tech caught the ball, came down in the end zone. The ref on the field called it a touchdown. Now, of course, they go to replay. About 10 minutes goes by. They're watching this thing
at replay.
Yeah, they're watching this thing for 10 minutes, man, and it's just so aggravating because that's not what replays are for. There was not undisputable evidence that to reverse the call on the field. So if you watch
for a game-winning thing like that, that's absurd.
Yeah, if you watch the replay and you think in your head, oh, it looks like he might not have had control on the way down.
I mean, it
don't matter. That's not what it has to be. Undisputed evidence. That's what replays are for. If you have to tell yourself, I don't think he had full control on the way down, then therefore the call on the field stands. That's how that works. But now we see this replay thing being used to just control college football, man. And I I put a message on a message board. Hey, dude, in 2 years, I feel like college football is going to be just completely scripted.
Because I'm pretty sure they took so long that they called in from the main replay thing and made the call. It wasn't just the officials on the field. It was, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And the thing is I don't have a dog in the fight here. I don't care. I don't care who won that game, but I did watch it because it was the best game that was on.
Right.
And it was very obvious. Number one, the announcers that were announcing that game, I mean, they called Cam Ward the Heisman winner. I don't know how many times, thinking they're going to see him. I'm like, bruh, dude, he's playing
so many stupid little passes.
Virginia Tech, And then not only that, but it was clear that they really wanted Miami to win. And then the officiating crew the entire time, It was bad, bro. It was another game full of bad officiating. And I'm just like, bro, what the heck, man? So another one, man. The ACC has to try to keep their only hope alive, and that's my Miami.
I mean,
so they did what they needed to do. They helped them out a couple different times, gave them the W, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I agree. Like that's what I heard. Everybody like they shouldn't have won in the first place. I didn't think they looked that great. And then like I heard Pat McAfee on game day saying like I think the U's back. Like I don't know how that was confirmation of that, but I don't think so, dude.
Yeah, this was a 2-2 Virginia Tech team. Moving on to the next game that I watched today, where I was like, dang, man, seriously? Here we go. I do got a dog in this fight. I just absolutely despise the team up north.
Yeah.
As everybody knows. I despised them before they went and cheated, but now that they cheated, I have a different level of despising them. And they just seem to have like this luck. And what got to me was, I'm on a message board and I saw several people say, hey, we better watch out for these guys when we play them. Yes, we need to come in focused. It's a rivalry game, all that.
Yeah.
Not because their defense is elite, right? So here's the thing with an elite defense. An elite defense needs to be able to play elite the entire game.
Where's the other
very obvious. It was very, very obvious that when these D tackles and their defensive line gets wore down, they don't have the depth to come in, play for them. What's your thoughts on what you saw from Scum's D line today?
I mean, it's the same thing that happened kind of against USC. Like it was like they shut it down to begin with when Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant are like fresh and ready to go, but when they have to rotate anybody in or those dudes are tired and it gets to the second half, like it's elite defenses wear things down, so like they start to pull away. Michigan, it's like their defense wears down and the other team starts to surge. That's what's happened in the last two games. Michigan got lucky, especially in this game, that happened. Like they just, I don't know how they catch all the lucky breaks, but they should have lost two games now. But Lincoln Riley choked and Minnesota got robbed. So.
Yeah. Now, Minnesota is not a good football team.
Not at all, dude. PJ Flex.
Not a good football team, right? So in the beginning, yes, Scum's defensive line was manhandling them.
Yeah.
Okay. But then you go to the offensive side of the ball, and of course, you had old freaking wasn't it Klatt announcing again? Old Joel Klatt talking about he would be reading Orgy's stat line like the first quarter. It was like 1 for 1 for 35 yards, and it's just like he's saying it like it's just some amazing feat. But anyway, so not a very good Minnesota team.
Yeah, no.
There's something I want to get your opinion on. I haven't went back and broke down the film yet, but I am going to do that. I'm going to watch several other people break it down. I'm going to go watch it myself just because I'm interested in it. But the officiating crew, again, seemed to love to call holding on Minnesota when they held, but didn't really seem to be calling it for Scum's O-line. And that is a pattern this year with them that, it's not always egregious holds either, but it is holding. They always do it and they always get away with it. Now, towards the end of the game, the officiating crew, called one downfield on them, which, brought like Donovan Edwards or Khalil Mullings, one of their runs back. But yeah, man, it's starting to get pretty aggravating to me to watch these games, even the games I don't have a dogfight in, and watch just this piss poor officiating that's going on in college football right now.
That's two games.
What do you think the solution is, man? What's the solution?
Dude, I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. To me, at least for the last few years, it always seems like every year there's always like one or two rules that they either change or they focus on, and it becomes like the focus of the thing, and like it's just getting worse and worse now. So we're like they're not even picking rules; they're just doing whatever they want to kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels like the NCAA's last gasp to like try to hold on to control of anything, like because they don't really have any power at the moment, and it's fading fast. But like, I mean, it's so bad. Like, I don't know how you rectify that. Like, like without having them step in, like they did in the Miami game, and like they were wrong there. So like, they didn't rectify anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got nothing accomplished. And Minnesota, like, not only they almost lost that one touchdown, but then they had the onside kick that was they were not offsides. They were, you know how hard it is to recover an onside kick in that situation, and they did it.
Yeah.
And they got it taken away from them for nothing, dude.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was about to bring up is that onside kick that they threw a flag in that Minnesota was offsides, but from the naked eye, it almost looked like it. I could see why they would call it because it was as close could be. But if you watch the announcers, they brought in their third party, whatever, to break it down. And he slowed the play down. He showed where the kicker's foot was kicking the ball, and he showed the line of scrimmage. And every single Minnesota player was behind the line of scrimmage. For some reason, you can't review that call, but they were not offsides, and they recovered that joker too. And they recovered it pretty far down the field. They only needed a field goal to
they already had the momentum,
tie the game. Yeah, and with as wore down as Scum's defense was, I feel like they're about to tie that joker up, and who knows what happens.
If not win it.
Yeah. Well, point being, we saw what we thought was going to happen to begin with. It actually, I gave Scum way more credit than what they showed up for in this game. I thought they were going to beat them by 2-3 touchdowns just from the simple fact of how bad Minnesota is, but
I started watching that game and it was 21-3 and I was like, well, we're going to move on then, because it seemed like it was getting out of control, and like, I'm not going to pat them on the back while they beat nobody. So, I moved on.
Yeah.
And I only came back when you guys said, like, hey, check this out. And I was like, well, Ole Miss sucks, so let's go.
And Orgy did what Orgy's going to do the rest of the season. He's just not a throwing quarterback. And the other thing, too, is, like, towards the end, Scum's last possession when they had the ball, I don't know why Minnesota is playing 1 and 2 safeties deep. You need to crowd the line of scrimmage. They're only going to run the ball. Like, I don't understand why teams keep doing this. Make them beat you with throwing it. He tried to throw like one ball down the field and it got intercepted. So scoot up to the line of scrimmage and go get them. They did it sometimes, but that last drive when they needed to stop them to give themselves some time, they didn't do it. So it was very aggravating. I felt like I was watching the first quarter of the USC game again, wondering what the heck is this defense doing?
It's the same thing that happened at the end of the USC game. They couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't have to not give up a 50-yard run. And what do? You give up a 50-yard run. Like, good Lord. Like, like, if they had figured it out, they had figured out it enough to, like, surge back. You know what I'm saying? And, like, why screw up then? Why give up then and, like, think they're going to pass the ball or do anything different than they have done for every game this season? Like,
I know.
Goes, hey, let's take that out and see who beats us.
Well, hey, the truth's going to come out, surely, they're still going to have some fans that are holding on to, wow, I'm proud of our team for digging in and doing this. But the truth is, come on, guys, get realistic. You're down bad this year. You are. You're going to get what you got coming to you. You're going to get what you deserve to get. The NCAA is going to handle you. The on-field, is going to take care of itself. So, I'm sitting here watching this Oklahoma-Auburn game now, Texas-Mississippi State. Watched that Maryland-Indiana game. Indiana's got some serious offense going, but Buckeyes, baby. Buckeyes coming up, man. Michigan State, stoked about it. I just got this feeling. I just have this feeling that these Buckeyes are about to come out heated. They're about to come out jacked up, stoked, and that's what I'm hoping for. My expectations while I'm watching the game, my expectations are for our defense to hold them to 0 yards for the whole game. And I want our offense to at least rush for 20 yards a carry and pass for 25 yards a pass. Those are my That's me being honest with myself. That's what I'm going to expect when I'm watching the game.
Right. Right. We'll adjust those later on, but yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah. So, but man, I think Will Howard's going to show up, man. I think the team's going to show up. And I think we've seen college football is just different, man. With all these transfer portal players and all this stuff, dude. You better show up every day.
For sure.
Every
Yeah,
single
sure.
day, bro. Miami almost lost to Virginia Tech. Oh yeah. Ole Miss went down smoking, bro. Kentucky. So
I listen, when I hit halftime and Kentucky was like had 25 minutes of possession and Ole Miss had like 5, and you could see Lane Kiffin's face was like bright red and he couldn't figure it out. Like, oh dude, it's over.
yeah.
It choked.
I thought for sure that Kentucky's offensive coordinator was going to blow it for him again. He just doesn't have it when it comes to well, he had it this game. I take that back. He got it done. So I saw the little fumble at the goal line recovered by their players and run it in. But anyway,
it was a weird game, but like I'm good with Ole Miss losing. Like
I am too. Yeah, for sure. But
what do you think about Georgia, Alabama? Where you land on that side?
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I know that a lot of people are picking Alabama, and
to be fair, I kind of am leaning that way, and I don't hate that, dude. It hurts my heart.
Yeah, Alabama has a lot of speed, man. I think they have a lot better skill players on the edge. They're just a faster team, and after watching, excuse me, after watching the Georgia-Kentucky game, it ain't going to be no cakewalk, man. But
Georgia's offense has been so kind of spotty all year. Their defense is good, yes, but like I think Jalen Miller and like that Ryan Williams kid, like I think they're better than like what Georgia defense has faced.
Yeah. Luckily for us, there's the 3 best games that are on the day for an Ohio State fan are the Ohio State-Michigan State game, the Georgia-Alabama game, and the Penn State-Illinois game. Luckily, we have the perfect situation because here's how it goes. We have to watch the Buckeyes on Peacock. Peacock doesn't have split screen, and they're not going to be playing the Alabama, Penn State, Illinois game. So I'm going to have the Ohio State game pulled up on my TV, and I'm going to have my laptop on YouTube TV with the split screen. Yeah, I always just watch the Buckeyes, but I've just got to have the other games on so I can see what's going on. But
at least catch an update. Like I feel like those are all going to be interesting games. Like,
yeah,
we'll see if like I know a lot of people are picking Penn State or whatever. Like, I mean, I don't think Penn State's really faced a defense yet. So like, we'll see how Illinois holds up.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what this Illinois team is really made of. You know, they've showed us a few things, but this is going to be a pretty good test for them for sure. So, yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, doing a little breakdown with us. We'll be coming on either later tonight after the Ohio State game or tomorrow. We might pop in for a live on Sunday, do a little bit of breakdown. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Please comment below, share us on your Twitter feed, get us out there. Remember, we're a fan channel. If you want to come on, talk a little football, share your opinion on some of these crazy games we've seen already, shoot us an email at thebuckeyeboys@gmail.com. That's with 3 Z's at the end of it. Other than that, let's get it, Buckeyes. OH.
I-O.